So you know how it is. We have our best laid plans and we say we're going to do something. Like I said this morning when I was feeling relatively well, that I would be going live on Instagram and Facebook around 1, and now it's 1:30. And what has happened? Well, I went to therapy ironically and had my own emotional meltdown and release, and then right after, my daughter came home from school early because she's having a really hard time. And this is just how life is. It just keeps coming. It's not like it ends. It's not like we get these big old luxury breaks. At least I don't feel like I do. You probably don't either. But I wanted to just share one of the biggest, most helpful tools to deal with these powerful emotions. Especially, it's ironic that I had already planned to do this because when I went to therapy today, it's surprising to me how easily I can be deceived, in my own head, and how much I have been in denial lately. We've been talking about the different stages of grief and how I'm dealing with this whole breast cancer thing and chemo. And of course, I've had my times of major anger and rage, and I've definitely had my times of sadness and depression. And this past few days, I think I've been in denial. I mean, this is what my one psychologist, I have two of them. That's how much I need help. Hey, Melissa. And that's how much my one psychologist is pointing out to me, is that I've been in denial, trying to just be better and feel better and be normal, because I'm so tired of feeling like I'm sick and so tired of being in bed. It's just, I want to just be normal and have a normal day and not feel stuff and not think about stuff. But there I am in her office then, sitting and feeling like I'm about to cry, and then finally being able to let it all out when I realized how much I've been just denying what I'm feeling because I just want to feel better. And I think we do that a lot. But it doesn't really help us long term. I mean, denial is very helpful in the meantime, in the short term, because it helps us get through something. Like if someone dies or we have a trauma happen and we're in denial about it, we can't feel it yet. We need that because we have to be able to cope and deal. But when we do that long term, we're just shutting down our emotions, whether we're ignoring it or turning our back from it or just shoving it down. It's not healthy, and they're just going to build up and become these bigger, powerful emotions over time. So today, I am actually working on this afternoon dealing with my own powerful emotions. And so it's ironic that I said that I would teach you a little bit about how to do that too. So just one of the methods that has been really helpful to me is, thanks Melissa, is to be able to tune in where the emotions are in your body first. That's step one. So, if you were just to kind of like scan your body for a second, just a quick second, okay, what do you feel in your body? And it might feel like a physical thing, or it might feel like I've been having these really sore ribs because of some treatment I've been doing for my breast surgeries, recovery and stuff. So I feel sore right here, but I also, like, if I look deeper, I feel this panic in my chest because here I am feeling like I'm emotionally overwhelmed and dealing with stuff in my therapy, and daughter's so emotionally overwhelmed and like super in crisis mode, and it's like panic right here. Okay, so you just check into your body, and then my stomach's been feeling sick, and I think that's fear. I think it's like fear in my stomach that makes my gut all off. So tune into your body, and what do you feel and where is it? Then you can kind of zero into one of those things at a time. And this is hard. I know it's hard because we don't want to feel stuff, but it's so powerful, so simple. So once you've kind of like figured out, okay, what do I feel my body where? Then you can pick one and tune into it. So if I pick my like panic in the chest thing, then I kind of tune into that instead of tuning out of it and going, oh, I feel panicky. Oh, I don't want to feel that. I'm going to go watch TV, even though I have TV on up there, which I am watching. And that can be good short term, but when we need to deal with it, we got to tune in. So going into the feeling instead of ignoring it or denying it. So just an example, and you can take whatever came up for you if something came up for you, but just here I have panic. I'm feeling panic in my chest. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling scared for my daughter. I'm feeling like I can't handle another thing, right? So these are all the thoughts that go with what we're feeling, and you can kind of close your eyes, tune in, and just breathe into that area. It's like you focus your breath into that area that you need to feel something. And then we talk to ourselves kindly with self-compassion, which is something I'm so working on right now. I've been really hard on myself going through chemo, which is ridiculous, but it's honest and true. And I have self-compassion. So what does self-compassion sound like when we're trying to feel things that are really heavy and hard to feel? Well, for me, if it's panic, let's say in our example, okay, I'm feeling panicked. So this is panic. I don't like how this feels. Feels like I'm losing control. Feels like I'm overwhelmed, like I can't handle things, right? This is just your own kind of way of tuning into, first of all, what's really happening, what's true. What's true is that, yeah, all those things are true. I don't want to feel this. I don't like the feeling. I want to run away from it. I don't want to sit here and have to deal with my emotions, but I am, right? So that's first. Then we can turn those thoughts and those words to ourselves into something truly compassionate. And as we breathe into that area that we're feeling, we can say things like, you know what? You can do this. You can handle this emotion. You can handle this anger, this sadness, this grief. You're here. You're showing up. You're feeling it. This is that freely experience the emotion with love part. That love part is the one we forget. We might feel the emotion and then berate ourselves about it, but instead, as we sit with it and go into it and sort of close our eyes and imagine breathing into that area that we're feeling that emotion, and then we send that love there. And I think, honestly, lately it's been so helpful to me to say it out loud, because I used to just say it in my mind, but I think it's more powerful when we say it out loud. So telling myself, okay, you're feeling panicked, and of course you're feeling panicked. You are so exhausted and overwhelmed from chemo. You're dealing with breast cancer, which is a whole other thing, and your daughter is now seriously depressed and having suicidal thoughts, and of course you're panicked. Of course you're overwhelmed. Of course you're stressed, and you are doing the best you can. You're trying to show up for you. You're trying to show up for her. You're trying to take care of yourself. You're going to therapy. You're sitting here right now in this moment feeling that thing. And so we do that. And so then as we talk ourselves through with these loving words, one of my favorite parts of this is then as we're breathing into that, and for me, panic is kind of like this, or anxiety feels like this. You can also give it kind of a movement or a color in your body. But for me, anxiety is like this. And so then one of my favorite parts is we lean away from it. So once we've identified where it is, once we go into it, once we start to have compassion and love for ourselves as we're in it and feeling it and saying what's true, that we don't like it, but we're going to stay with it and we don't have to give this up, we can do this, then we lean away so that we have emotion here. And I remind myself, I am not that. I am not panic. I am not anger. I am not depression or despair or grief. I am here and it is here. So it can be in me, but it is not me, which is such a powerful thing that so many of us forget to do. And we get so caught up in the idea that, I am that anger. I am that depression. I am grief, because it feels so overwhelming. This is something I've been trying to teach my daughter. She's going through her depression. So it's here. I'm here. I am not that. And then we can come back to it with that same self-compassion and remind ourselves, you know what? I've been sitting with this for a minute or two, and it only takes a couple minutes. Yeah, see, here's Melissa. I'm here. I'm breathing. I'm strong. I can handle this. I am not my anxiety. My friend, Dr. Christina. Yes, I do, Melissa. Thank you. And as we do that, we process the emotions, and they don't become so huge that they just overpower us in moments when we don't want them to. I mean, we've all had that happen, where suddenly we're just angry and irritable and outbursts because we haven't stopped to take the time to deal with it. And these are the kinds of things that we are going to be doing in my Grow coaching program. I just wanted to mention that real quick because it closes tonight and we still have a couple spots available. So you can go to my website, drchristinahibbert.com, and check it out, because it's only $37 a month for 3 months, or if you pay all at once, it's only $30 a month for $90 for 3 months, which is incredible. You can't get group coaching at that price. But this is doable for me. It's something that I can do as I'm dealing with my stuff, because here I am dealing with this today like I am, and then I just want to tell people like I am now, hey, you know what? Try this. It can help you too. And that's what the group coaching is all about. So if you want to get one of those spots and the bonus coaching session, which is going to actually be next week before my last chemo, we're going to hop on a call and talk and set some goals and then start in January. And no, it's not therapy, it's coaching. Coaching and therapy are different, but it's kind of like what I'm doing now. I'm teaching you some skills, some practical things. And in the Grow Group coaching program, the cool thing is we're going to be talking all month long in our Facebook group so that I know what you need to learn. And then when we have our group call, which is 1.5 hours every month, where we get on a video chat with a small group, then I know what I can do for you and what you need to know. So I hope this has been helpful in some way for how to deal. So remember, number one, figure out what you're feeling in your body where. I really like to do that and also add a color and an action. So for me, that panic that I had in my chest, it's kind of like a white whirlwind, almost like a cloud of action. It feels like this, like, I can't breathe. I'm just panicky. That's what that feels like. And my headache that I have right now is more of like a tired stress headache. It feels more like a rock in my head, you know? And then number 2, we go into the emotion, as I said, and instead of running away from it, go into it and we feel it. And then number 3, we talk to ourselves through it. We tell ourselves with compassion, freely experiencing that emotion with love, you can do this. You got this. The emotion is not you. Then we lean away from it, remind ourselves we can have the emotion and not become it, and then continue to talk to ourselves. And I would say, final tip here, when you're talking to yourselves with self-compassion, think about what the child in you needs. You know, and even in my therapy, my psychologist number 2, she said that I need to go back to being an infant. Like, what does an infant need? Because that's where I am in my life. I'm so overwhelmed with just getting through chemo and breast cancer treatment that it's like I've got to go back to basics. The infant in me needs sleep. The infant in me needs to eat. The infant in me needs to cry. The infant in me needs to be held. It needs to be loved. It needs to be cared for. And we can't always expect that everybody around us are the ones that have to do that for us, although that is great when we have to do that for ourselves. And this is what I'm working on because I have not been good at it, you guys. I have not been good at it, but I'm going to get better. And then I'm going to be teaching all these kinds of things in our Grow Group coaching group. So check it out on my website, Grow Coaching Group. And you can find it just on the homepage. Scroll down and let me know if you have any questions about any of this. I'm actually going to go and spend the rest of the day just letting myself journal and cry and whatever, even though my program is closing tonight at midnight. I'm sure I'll be checking on it, and Melissa's here to help. I know, Melissa, you've got my back too. But that's the beauty of having a group that has your back, is that you can rely on each other, and we need each other. I am learning that more than ever, how much we need each other, and how grateful I am for all the support of everybody. And I may be wiped out. I may be overwhelmed. I may have panic and fear and stress in me. My daughter may be struggling really, really a lot right now. But we can make it through. Oh, thanks, Melissa. Melissa put the link for us. Just breathe. You can deal with it and you can overcome it. And like I said, you're going to be becoming as you're overcoming, because you're going to be becoming more and more of yourself, especially as you learn these skills of self-compassion. And that voice in your head starts to become more compassionate all the time, which is what I'm working on. And that is how we become more full of self-worth, true self-worth, and not that false self-esteem. That's a whole other thing. But you can also get my self-worth mini course if you haven't already on my website. It's free. Just go to drchristinahibbert.com and you can get that too. Let me know what you think. And I hope this was helpful. So if you have any other questions about how to do this or whatever, just put them below, or any questions about the group coaching. Again, we are closing it tonight. It's going to be a small group. We're starting with that bonus coaching call next week. The price goes up, and then we start for official in January. So be part of it with me and grow with me, because I mean, it's so much better to do it together. Thank you for all the love. Hi, Katie. Hi, everybody else. I don't see anybody else's names, but thank you for tuning in. Really, I'm so deeply grateful. Now go and make a good day. That's what I'm going to work on.